June 17th, 1874. It's a warm, balmy day. I see Custer's troops far on the south ridge. William Hallett and a half-dozen Métis scouts are approximately 2 miles to the west of us. I see 30 or so surveyors and workmen of the Royal Engineers below us here. Captains Cameron and Anderson of the RCMP off to my right on the north bench. July 20th, 1996, and it's another warm, balmy day. Hi, I'm Emil Dizatels, your host for the next hour and a half or so. It's a great day. It'll be a terrific ride. I know we'll all enjoy it. So climb aboard this historic trek, and I'll try and do this beautiful country a little justice. I hope I don't have to do that too often to keep your attention. Hi. Well, it's Sunday morning, bright and early. Everybody's fed and watered. We're getting anxious for a beautiful day, getting saddled up and harnessed up. As you can see, we're fortunate enough to have with us the CBC with their cameramen and 100mm lenses stuck in our faces, getting all those terrific smiles. We're getting them back here, Rosetta.
Just to impress. Ready?
So how goes it for the first day?
It goes pretty good. We wouldn't need all this wind, but I guess we'll just have to take what we get.
From Saskatchewan, my name's Shane.
Tell me name. Wayne Franklin, producer of this song. Dale Franklin from Calgary, Alberta.
What you got behind you there?
We got a nephew up there. Tell me name.
Corey Johnson from Wronghead.
Who's sleeping there? The two good-looking ones.
The girls are right. That must be the horses. Clutch them.
Robin from Calgary.
What dad's get in the picture?
Desiree from Edmonton.
Buy the film next year for your grandma. She'll see you on the right.
Oh, you're taking.
On July 6, 1876, Generals Sherman and Sheridan, along with all of Philadelphia, opened their morning newspapers to read garbled accounts of a military disaster on the western frontier. It was later confirmed that over 260 troopers of the 7th Cavalry, including Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, had been killed by Indians on the northern plains. In the spring of 1876, 3 columns of soldiers marched towards the Powder River country of Montana. Their task was to round up the non-treated Teton Sioux and bring them onto the Great Sioux Reservation in what is now western South Dakota. From Wyoming Territory in the south came approximately 1,000 troopers led by General George Cook. From the western Montana Territory came about 450 troopers commanded by Colonel John Gibbons. From Dakota Territory in the east came a force of about 1,000 troopers led by General Alfred H. Terry. Included in Terry's column was Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, commanding all 12 companies of the 7th United States Cavalry. The information on which the Army based its campaign was that no more than 800 Indians were missing from the reservation. But by mid-June, the various bands camped together for protection against the Army had grown to 7,000 or 8,000 Indians, 2,500 or so of them being warriors. Secure in their numbers, the Lakota and Cheyenne were determined as never before to cling to their traditional way of life. This is the Indian encampment as the 7th Cavalry found it on that hot summer afternoon in 1876. At dawn on June 25th, 1876, Custer's scouts scanned the western horizon from the high point of ground called the Crow's Nest. 15 miles to the west in the valley of the Little Bighorn, they saw smoke from the Lakota and Cheyenne villages, and vast herds of ponies grazing above the western bank. Custer had planned to camp as close as possible to the encampment during Sunday, June 25th, and attack at dawn on the 26th. Scatter the village in confusion before a defense could be mounted. But as the prairies warmed on that Sunday morning, Custer realized that the regiment had been spotted. He judged the advantage of surprise would be lost if he waited until dawn. Judging from past experiences, the Indians would have broken camp and fled. Custer then made the crucial decision to find the village with all possible speed and attack immediately. Captain Fred Benteen and 3 companies rode southwest along the base of the Wolf Mountains to head off any possible retreat by the tribesmen. The rest of the regiment proceeded to the valley of the Little Bighorn. 4 miles from the Little Bighorn River, the troops came upon a party of warriors who raced towards the river. Just from behind the bluffs told Custer that the encampment was near and probably fleeing. Custer ordered Major Marcus Reno and 3 companies to pursue the warriors and attack the encampment before it could defend and escape. Custer assured Reno that he would have full support of the command. As Custer followed Reno at a slower pace with 5 companies of troopers and a group of 60 or 70 warriors were spotted along the ridges to the north, Custer immediately turned his command north and rode up the ridges to block the escape. After riding a mile or so, the battalion paused while Custer rode to the top of the bluffs for his first glimpse of the Indian encampment. Teepees covered the valley below, while thousands and thousands of ponies grazed on the tableland to the west. And in the river obscured portions of the encampment, but it was still apparent that this was no small gathering. It was probably the largest concentration of Indians in the history of the northern plains. Message was sent back to Benteen saying, "Benteen, come on, big village, be quick, bring packs, P.S., bring packs." By this time, Reno and his men had crossed the river and were advancing towards the village to the south. After a brief skirmish, Reno's troops were forced back across the river to the comparative safety of the bluffs. Losing over a third of his command, most of the warriors were now free to double back and concentrate on Custer, who posed a threat to the northern end of the encampment. Custer's battalion now found itself in rough terrain, unsuitable for mounted action. On foot they advanced to the high point of ground now called Calhoun Hill. Here Custer divided his battalion. Companies C, I, and L remained at Calhoun Hill as a rear guard, while Custer took companies E and F and continued north onto Last Stand Hill. As Custer approached the river, he may have seen the women and children running for safety on the other side of the Little Bighorn. However, without supplies and reinforcements, Custer did not have the strength to attack and capture several thousand people. At this time, the Indians attacked Calhoun Hill from the west. As troopers began to be killed, Gall's warriors mounted another attack from the south, thus breaking up the troops' skirmish lines and concentration to the west. Crazy Horse and his warriors rushed over Battle Ridge and charged into the soldiers from the east. In a short period of time, Calhoun Hill was in chaos. After some preliminary movements, Custer positioned Company E on the west slope of Last Stand Hill, while Companies F and his headquarters staff remained. Custer ordered the horses shot from breastboards. This action, however, was too little too late, and Last Stand Hill was quickly overrun by warriors. As Custer was overrun, many soldiers ran from the slopes to the river for protection in the thick brush. Indian accounts say all these men were shot down and killed. 4 miles south, Reno and Benteen attempted to move in the direction of Custer's advance when they heard the sound of gunfire.
Bob Thestrup from Osage.
Diane Crowford from Fillmore.
Folsom, Swift Current. Man.
Justin Wallace.
There you go.
No, did you see that, Roy? That's how you...
Go ahead.
Peter Bluton, I'm from Edmonton, originally from Swift Current.
Doug Wallace from Admiral, 30 miles north.
Pocahontas, and they just kicked me off the reserve. Cal Beavan.
Who are you? Tell them who you are.
Curtis.
Curtis who?
Gerard.
Where are you from?
Pontiac.
You having fun? Yeah?
Hi, I'm Yolande Gerard, and my husband and I came with our 2 boys and enjoying the much-needed holiday.
Right.
Adam. I'm Alice Adams' daughter. And I'm having a pretty good time.
Good.
Gerard.
No, that's Ted over there.
No, that's Curtis.
No. Is it? Well, I thought he told me it was Ted. What's the name of your horse? Huh? Rascal?
Raskin. Rascal. Raskin.
Who you are?
Larry Gerard from Pontiac, Saskatchewan.
I'm Leslie Furseth, my wife Cheryl. We're from Hodgeville, Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that California cart. Pretty comfortable.
It sure is.
Yeah. You've been running it for quite a while?
The guy, Don Reinecke from Hodgeville, owns it. He built it from scratch from pictures. He's had it on the track. This will be the 4th year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, then I seen it last year then, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did apply to Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
John Hogan, Manitoba.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Mike Gary Felshire from Woodlands, but my baby's over there. You got to get him in the picture. We got to tell him his name, you see, because we never had a name for him before we come here. So come on here, Rambler.
What do you call him?
Well, we call him Boundary Rambler because that's he rambled all over the camp and we're on the Boundary Trail. So
Williams from Aberdeen. This is my daughter Misty, wife Ann, daughter Carrie. I'm Daryl Montgomery from Wallabunch, Saskatchewan.
I'm Michael Martin from Wallabunch, Saskatchewan.
I'm Jillian Desertel from Wagon, Saskatchewan.
Bernard Martin from Little Bunch.
We've got a line from France. Jane Desertel, Wallabunch.
Lucy Desertel,
Kathy Lang, Francis.
Ernie Lesman from Bunch. Jerry LaPierre from Willow Bunch.
Getting only as far as Weir Point, they were held under siege for the next 30 hours. But Monday afternoon, June 26, the Indians began to leave the valley and headed for the Bighorn Mountain. Tuesday morning, General Terry arrived to find bodies of Custer's men stripped and mutilated on both sides of Battle Ridge. In 1881, a granite memorial was placed on the top of the ridge, and the remains of the soldiers were gathered from the field and placed in mass grave. The remains of the 7th Cavalry troops were found along the Little Bighorn as late as 1989, just below the west bank. The Indians inevitably returned to the reservation.
Son Mason Beveridge. And look in the camera. I grew up about 15 miles away from here. And we decided to do this trail ride just because it's close to home.
There's you all from Toronto. Thanks you all, Sean, Saskatchewan.
My name is Andrew from the Delisle area. Forest from Saskatoon. I was on last year's ride. Enjoyed it very much. And I'm enjoying this one.
Tony Newland. This is my second trail ride. I'm really enjoying it. We had a good time last year, so we're back another year.
Randy Krause steps into Tony. We rode last year, having a good time this year. Hope to be back next year at Cypress. Blair Argy, Tony's neighbour. We were gone last year and hope to make the rest of the trip.
My name's Marvin Baskin.
You guys are local boys?
East End.
East End.
First time on the trip.
Go ahead.
Charlie Miller, Richardson, Saskatchewan.
Bruce Miller, Richardson, Saskatchewan.
Miles Forsberg, Regina, Saskatchewan.
How goes the ride?
Great. The ride's great. The busing's terrible. The food's good. 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
Yeah.
Richard Turr from the Cinnabon.
How goes the ride?
Great. Great trail.
I'm one of the kids on the ride. I'm 88 years old. And I guess one thing attracted me on this drive. I'm wondering when it'll be the last one. I'm getting to where I may not take many more. And this is a great group it looks like to be with. It's rather intriguing to me on account of the Northwest Mounted Police covering something like this in '84, and I have a lot of the diary. Turned it over to them here to start reading. on that date when the mounted police marched west. So I'm kind of a history buff. This hat I happen to be wearing is about 90 years old. It was an uncle of mine, is how I come to get a hold of it. It's a mounted police hat, as you can see by the shape of it. But it's about 90 years old. Uncle of mine, R.E. Hancock. Yes, you'd better ask that man a little to say a word or two. This is Alan Murdoch. He's been on many of these. And he's the poet of the gang. You'll hear a lot of his poetry if you stick around.
Oh, yeah?
Well, it's kind of a feeling.
How many wagon trains have we been on together?
I don't know.
We're together.
Been a lot of them. Yeah, we kind of figured that this would be the last. But then who knows? We might be walking on our hind legs yet next summer.
Yeah.
So, another one. My name's Alan Murdoch.
Right on. Who's the driver there that's doing such a good job?
Roger Hansen from Regina, and this is my second year on the boundary ride, and I've been having a good time and hope to make her next year if we can. And I encourage anybody that sees this tape to come on out and enjoy this ride, because there's some beautiful country and a lot of history that you won't see anywhere in a history book other than on one of these rides.
Scarcely known to white man, a broad expanse of lonesome, barren prairie stretches endlessly, a haven for Mother Nature's wild fowl and numerous animals. Prairie wool or buffalo grasses that was commonly known grew knee-high, covered hill and dale, and the bottom was matted with heavy growth and waste that the human foot or horse hooves never touched or saw beneath it. This endless expanse of walled prairie as it met the sky as distant horizons was dissected by countless streams and rivers which proved invaluable as avenues of travel to the many explorers and the human tide of settlers. These were rough, rugged terrain and many lakes that sparkled like jewels in the endless sea of grass. Most of these lakes were not fresh water but an alkaline, a form of sodium deposit, and relied wholly on their water supply from rains and heavy spring runoff. Although the water couldn't be used for anything but stock, it still had its place in the land. Beauty abounded in this new land, and one of the most significant was the prairie sunset. On a summer's evening, one could watch the hot blazing sun as it sank behind the horizon in a glow of golden beauty, creating a picture that even the hands of the most skillful artists couldn't match. The night also added its beauty in the northern lights as the northern sky shimmered and danced from one horizon to the other in a gleaming array of dazzling colors which often reached the zenith. These were scenes admired and gazed at in wondrous amazement. This was everlasting beauty which existed long before the pioneer came and will remain forever after the human race is gone. This part of the country became the new frontier on the map of the Canadian West, settled by the pioneer, where the light-footed red man had trotted for many centuries before.
I couldn't stand that.
Never know who's hiding in the bushes.
I know Danny spoke invented Rockhampton, and I can remember seeing that on the map, but it seems to me he was a little further back in. Billawheela is I'd have to
This is the other week, you said?
Oh no, this
It's camera shy.
And, boy, when we did this, we were amazed at them. Like, not that they were wonderful, but they were wonderful. They were standing there and they're like water.
Ramirez from Bishop, California.
Enjoying the ride?
Yes, it's my first adventure.
It is. First time on a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Oh, that's good.
Going to do it next year, maybe.
Right on.
This is rock in the background, and this is roll. And we've covered about 4,000 miles, so this apparently isn't my first time. Connie asked me to dance with her at Mule Days at Bishop, California this spring, and I decided, well, I was going to either go to the Olympics or join the Canadians on the wagon train, so here we are. And this is a 1852 Studebaker running gear, and I built the wagon box, the sheep wagon box, by Studebaker specifications.
Yeah, my name's Jim Scott. I'm from Morden, Manitoba. My wife Lonnie's traveling with me. We've been on the trail since for about the last 4 years with the team. Really enjoying it.
I'm Bonnie Wallace and I'm from Swift Creek. I'm on this ride with my dad and my two sons.
Kevin Sims, I'm from OK Falls, BC. Second year on the ride, having a good time. And
our name's Leroy and Arla Hansen, and we're from Paris, Saskatchewan. We've been on this ride for 4 years and enjoying it every time we come.
My favorite pastime is bugging Ross.
Me and Bill Dickinson, we're from Cranbrook, BC. This is our second year on the ride, and we're having a great time.
Liston from Calgary. Dennis Southam, DeWitt.
Brian Fultus from Calgary.
Lance Blondin from Calgary.
Dale Hogue, Calgary.
Mike Arthurs from Pritis.
Karen Kruger from Warden, Manitoba.
I'm Kelsey from Calgary. I'm Brayden Anderson from Calgary too.
I'm Robin Arthurs from Pritis. Guy LeBlanc, Millerville.
Mike LeBlanc from Millerville.
This is July 26th, and we're in East End, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Watermanek, one of the cooks on Sophie's crew.
Jesse. I'm from Crane Valley, and I'm Jesse Watermanek.
And I'm Debbie Watermanek from Crane Valley, and this down here is Jenna.
I'm Spencer Watermanek from Crane Valley.
I'm Angie McConnell from Saskatoon.
And I'm the chief, I guess. Sophie, this is all my crew here, my daughters and my sister and nieces, and my grandchildren, all helping me.
I'm Shelley McConnell from Saskatoon.
Pat McConnell, Saskatoon.
I'm Sarah Watermanek, and I'm from Crane Valley.
Not called Melissa. Who are you? Oh, this is Melissa Nomelan from Saskatoon.
I'm Sherry Solomko from Unity. Lori Nomelan from Saskatoon. And this is Kyle Nomelan from Saskatoon.
David Solomko from Unity, and our daughter Shelby Solomko.
I gotta tell you, Sophie, I haven't heard one complaint. I think everybody's gained anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds on this ride.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We had lots of fun doing it, and we all enjoyed it.
Hey, Lance.
I'm Rose from Tyven, Saskatchewan. Enjoying the trip pretty good. What else do you want?
Go ahead.
Trevor Monastersky from Tyven, Saskatchewan. And I'd like to trail ride.
Oh.
Brian Keiston from Enola, Manitoba, and we're back at the Boundary Ride again for another good year. We're going to enjoy ourselves.
Gordon Minnie, Lloyd Minster.
Linda Johnson. I missed last year, but other than that, we've been here almost every year. We're having a great time.
Edward Hoffman from Calgary, Saskatchewan. Kayla Hoffman from Highland, Saskatchewan.
David Mathai, and I'm from Brandon, Manitoba. I'm Justin Noble, and I'm from Estevan, Saskatchewan.
I'm Carla Hoffman. I'm from Tyben, Saskatchewan. I'm Shane Noble, and I'm from Estevan, Saskatchewan.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a great ride, and we're driving a team of Hofflingers. They're 2- and 3-year-olds. And right now, my daughter, Brandon Noble, is doing the driving this morning, Carl. Bags from Estevan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nice looking units there.
Yeah, we're pleased with the way they're working. It's their first time they've ever been on a long trail ride. Manitoba, Roland Hudon and Calais Gagnon.
This is Calais?
Yeah, that's my grandson.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, I know. So were you on the ride last year? No.
I just retired this fall.
Oh, so you'll be on the next one for sure.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
The only thing is I'm not sure which grandson I'm going to bring.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get a 4-horse trailer and I'll bring 3.
Yeah, you have to bring them all after he tells his brothers.
13 of them. I don't know if I can bring them all.
Well, have fun.
Thank you very, very much.
These engineers deserve to be remembered at least as well as more notorious men of violence in the West. With courage and cooperation, they performed an arduous duty for the future tranquility of their respective countries, traversing and mapping a frontier 800 miles long, most of it arid wilderness. Their work proceeded coming to the northwest of the Canadian Mounted Police, and by several years the American campaign against the Sioux. I'd like to read a few paragraphs from a young soldier's diary from 1874, which Pete Perrin was kind enough to make available to us. If we had to suffer any of their hardships, I doubt if we'd be here today. Started early, raw and cold, no pasturage or water until the noon camp. Then of a very poor quality. Horses hardly able to make the hills we had to cross. 2 more days of this and we shall not have any horses left. Feed was still very bad. The ground cracked and fused from drought and heat. The last precipitation of any account was at Pembina Mountain over 400 miles to the rear. After 5 miles, good feed was found and the commissioner decided to give the animals the opportunity to regain their strength. A Sioux came in from a small camp half a mile off and was told that the white chief would gladly meet the Indians the following day. We have had to make a new road for ourselves for over 100 miles. He pointed out Palliser's map was not reliable. Remained in camp. The Sioux, who were those of the Sistan tribe, who had sought refuge in Canada following the massacre in Minnesota in 1862, turned up in the morning, and a formal powwow was held. Camp was moved several miles to a slough where there was good grass. The distance to the country of the Blackfoot Indians was growing less and less, and the commissioner, thinking it advisable to have his command unencumbered by sick men or animals, established what he termed as a cripple camp. Under Captain Sutherland, 7 men, some of them in very bad health, a half-breed, 26 worn-out horses, 12 wagons, and some superfluous stores were left there to be picked up on the return. 2 empty carts and 2 more worn-out horses were sent back to cripple camp, but a precaution was taken to retain the wheel of 1 cart, the rest of it being packed in the other. 20-odd miles were made this day over an undulating country. There was little water, no wood, and poor pasturage, but the horses were doing better on a well-regulated oat ration. Camp was made in the evening near a marsh which provided poor drinking water and inferior feed. The force was now entering the last great buffalo range Everywhere the pasturage had been cropped short. There was a downpour of rain in the morning, the heaviest since leaving Dufferin. Objects that were taken to be buffalo were seen in the distance. McLeod's party left at noon, losing valuable time in rounding up their oxen. The force marched in the afternoon and met another party of Métis travelers. They were searched for liquor without results. The commissioner endeavored to buy ponies or horses from them, but found the prices too high, from $150 to $200. A rest camp was made by a saline pond. There was no wood to be had, and buffalo chips had to be used for fuel. Sunday, observations for time, latitude, and magnetic variations gave the latitude as 49 to 48 and a variation of 20 to 45 degrees. From now on, extra precautions were taken to safeguard the camp in increasing the night guard and sentries, and the issue of extra ammunition. The men were warned not to undress at night and to keep their firearms ready for instant use. No horses were to be turned out for grazing until daybreak. Within the past several days, 9 horses had succumbed from exhaustion. The advance guard started at 6 a.m. After 14 miles, a halt was made near a slough where the horses had a good meal of rushes and a quantity of which were gathered for further use. Among the men there was now keen anticipation of adventure, attended by the zest of potential danger and an urge to press forward. The force was on the borders of the Blackfoot country, and came what may, in the nature of Indian opposition, the hard-featured, sunburned riders were determined to see the undertaking through. Except for the staccato cries of the Métis cart drivers, the thud of hooves and creak of saddlery, there were long spells of silence in which no one spoke, but rode with reins lying loose, each turning his head slowly from side to side as he searched the plains for any hostile move. In the morning the storm continued, and breakfast was omitted. Some supplies were seriously reduced. After 8 miles, a halt was ordered to bring up the rear and to adjust the loads and make repairs. The last wood was used. Assistant Commissioner McLeod and Sub-Inspector Walker were ordered to proceed with 4 men and 6 carts to the Wood Mountain settlement of Willowbunch, which lay to the southeast, there to purchase, if possible, a supply of buffalo pemmican. They were to meet the column about 100 miles further on. Resuming the march, the force continued on its way, crossing the Coteau. The weather had again turned hot. These were some of the times and hardships of these soldiers in that long hot summer of 1874.
Husson, we're from Shaunavon. This is L.D. Bolton from Simi. His son Justin. This is my son Clint. We're all, L.D. and I and Justin have been on the wagon train from the start. Clint just came in last night. Been great weather, really enjoyed it. Horses have been good. Lots of horses, a few wagons, and I don't think you could ask for a better.
My name is Eileen Hansen. I'm here in this ride with my husband Donald. We're from Strasbourg, Saskatchewan, and we're having a good time. The food is wonderful.
Yeah, the food's been great.
And no one is going hungry. Yep, from Strasbourg.
And I'm a South African that's living in Canada. And this is my first experience of cowboy life, and it's just wonderful.
So we'll see you next year for sure then.
Absolutely.
I know I talked to one guy earlier that's going to trade his motorbike in for a horse now. And who's the pretty one here?
I'm Renee Bannerstein, and I'm here with my dad and my grandma and grandpa who have been on this ride since they started in Saskatchewan.
Right. Don Hansen, I'm the owner of the wagon. And this is our 4th year. We're enjoying it very much.
My name is Harold Shore, and I'm from Strasbourg, this group. This is my 4th year, and my butt tells me I'm having a good time.
Hi, I'm Karen Goldie from Lumsden, and I'm with my South African friend, another non-cowgirl. Mostly we're walking, and I'm going to try not to fall off a Tubby's horse.
Well, see your butt.
Hey, I'm Ryan Vanderson from Saskatchewan. I'm here with my dad and my sister.
Where'd you get the hat?
My dad.
I was going to say, it looks older than you.
It is. Well, it gets wore out in the bush.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Gord Decker. I'm from Strasbourg.
Ron Decker. Strasbourg.
Hi, I'm Jerry Shalakowski. I'm from Mom, and I'm from north of Winnipeg, in Springfield, Manitoba. And this is my son.
Corey Shalakowski. I'm from
I'm Claire, and I'm her mother. And we're here with the team.
Is that cold hook on the hay?
For the 4th year.
So the team's working good?
Oh yeah. We got a pair of 4-year-olds. They were kind of tired the first couple of days, but
They harden in just like the rest of us, eh?
doing all right.
I'm Ernie. I'm their son, and I run a pasture up north of Saskatoon in the Thickwood Hills, and this is the first time I've been on this ride, and it's pretty enjoyable.
I'm Gail Daniels from Pearson, Manitoba. This is my husband, Neil.
This is Jim Baldick from Killarney, and Crystal Wolseley from Ninette, and I'm Sandra Racine from Killarney. And we're here with a bunch of people from the Turtle Mountain Riders and Teamsters, and we're having a lovely time.
Janet Duncan from Smeeth, east of Prince Albert, and we're really enjoying the ride this year.
Morning, Evil. My name's Ross Duncan from Smeaton. It's the 4th year on the ride. The weather's a lot better this year than it was last, and we're having a real good time.
Dwayne Skundiak from Saskatoon.
It's going good?
Florida, Manitoba. Been on the ride since 90 and missed
Speak up.
92.
Kemp from Clarny, my son Jared. We're here to ride for the show. We're having a great ride. We were here 2 years ago, and we hope to go again next year. Yeah?
I'm Larry Hicks. I'm from Boissevain, Manitoba, and I've been here a few years, but I'm enjoying myself, and I think it's a good deal.
I'm Gary Struth from Killarney, Manitoba. Been on it since the start, and we're really having a good time. Good bunch to travel with. We plan on going right through.
I'm Gordon Mason from Clarny. This is my first year, but we're having a great time and hope to be back again.
And of course, old Bill.
Bill Davies, we got me before, from Killarney. I've been on every mile.
Right. I've enjoyed it.
Who you got sitting up in the wagon there?
Dave Bartol.
Say anything about the ride?
This is Ruth Bartol.
Yes, and I'm enjoying it very much. I rode with Shannon's before.
George Trot with his
I'm Savona, Shannon. Pretty rough, but it's sure pretty.
Now you girls are all tough.
Bernadette McPherson, and I can say that I miss my horse this year, but it's still a pretty ride, and I'm enjoying myself. Marilyn Kurtz. It's just beautiful out here. Yeah, wouldn't be much to do.
So,
And this is the best ride I've ever been on.
right on. Gee, we'll have to pay you that $5 pretty soon too, eh?
I'm Jennifer Curry, and this has been a very good ride so far.
It's Clarence and Margot Viller from Strasbourg. Well, no one else to say.
Track. So I was kind of happy that I didn't break it.
Yeah.
But when I fell off, I thought I was going to get it in the head because the horse went that way.
Well, you were on horseback when she...
Well, I was on horseback. He hit the horse, hit him in the breast strap.
He fired both feet?
What happened? He was hooked high on the trailer, and they give him lots of rope so he could eat grass. And then he just backed up to the end of the rope and let me have it with both feet.
Jesus.
I was long and far enough back, but he come and got us.
name is Rita Nordwick. I was president of this group. I was also an emergency service person for the wagon train. My name is Carol Mascar. I'm the treasurer for the committee, and I'm also an emergency services person for the wagon train. And I'm Alice Hannum. I took on the secretarial job this year. Went very well, thanks.
Alan Olson, Outrider. Dan Rust. I was on the trail committee and vice chairperson, and I'm also one of the wagon boss, or trail boss.
Herb Wallace helped out with the trail boss.
Albert Hanson, I was wagon boss this year and appreciated the chance to help out again this year.
Henry Cody, and I was lead wagon.
Russell Nordwick and bus driver.
Will Nelson, I was leader of the road riders. These are the people I had with me, Bernard Bussey, Mark Bascom, Wes Hope, Odell Olson, and Helen Olson. Thank you. You boys are doing a great job of helping me.
Yeah.
So how old is he?
4.
Is he very hard to break?
No, he was really easy.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, he was quiet right from the calf.
That's quite the way for the line.
He won't move.
Is he gated?
When Dad gets here with the camera, we'll boost you up, Grandma.
Is he gated?
Pardon me?
Is he gated?
What do you mean gated?
Does he have a good stride? Is he a good ride?
On lope, he's a little rough, yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad. You gotta flip up on him. Yeah. A whole bunch of people there got the picture. They just stepped on my knee and stepped up. Did you get to?
That's what I mean, saddle.
Yeah, you got a tough time.
Yeah, is he hard to saddle?
No, he's gentle.
Johnny Buck, when you first started roping him?
He bucked me off twice.
Yeah. Yeah, you roll quite a bit?
Yeah, there is quite a bit of roll there. But I pulled cows off in that branding time.
Oh?
All you have to do when he starts bucking is grab onto his horns.
Yeah, you gotta be...
My knees,
You gotta watch the horns, eh?
Turn me right down in front.
He never flips his horn at you if he gets upset.
Oh, you got a pretty good control with that nose.
Make sure you can protect yourself.
Yeah. But like I said, when he bucked me off the one time, he started spinning and he got his horn underneath my leg and then he straightened out and just Hail Married me right over the front.
Can I get on and get a picture?
You bet. Yeah.
Very good.
What do you gotta do to spook him?
Never mind.
Get this done before some more of your friends come over, Gary.
Yeah. We just about didn't have to say anything. He just about went over the other side. Okay, trot him.
Don't move it, man.
Somebody bite that tail.
Enough trouble with horses.
I know which one. I know which one's going into the guy now.
That's right, yeah. All you can see is those big horns.
Wildebeest.
Let me take a picture with my son. Come get away. Oh.
What, are you gonna go rope him?
I do.
She's too short, she has to get off.
Carol, you wanted to shower anyway, right? No drinking of the water that's coming back down here, you guys. No cheating. You don't like the guy that's hauling your water, just drink Ken, now you get the water out of that.
Oh, she spilled over water.
Watch her coming out the gate. Here. Come so far, Alice. You don't want to get wet?
Stand up.
That was a good one, huh?
day after Captain Anderson's arrival, Mr. Compton and 6 scouts left Wood Mountain on a second reconnaissance while a train of wagons started out to stock the depot at White Mud Crossing. Mr. Compton explored 150 miles west to the east fork of the Milk River, where on July 7th, Anderson and Herschel would set up a second sub-depot. Before this expedition, the chief astronomer visited his work parties on the line south of Wood Mountain and made contact with the American scouts from Fort Peck. His appearance heralded the coming of the American Commission, who instead of marching 500 miles along the parallel were able, Lieutenant Galloway enviously put it, to travel like gentlemen by steamer up the Missouri. Having found the steamer Fontenelle waiting, but already loaded with 200 tons of non-commissioned freight, just with his own wagons and animals would cram the boat to capacity for the week's passage to Fort Buford. Before departure, Lieutenant Green wrote to his parents, "But the 20th of this month, Custer takes 10 companies of cavalry, about 500 effective men, and starts on an expedition southwest into the Black Hills. The Indians are collecting down there in large numbers to oppose him, and he will probably have some hard fighting. But he has a fine regiment of several years' experience with Indians, and as an Indian fighter, Custer has no superior in the army except for Mackenzie. His expedition will benefit us by drawing the Indians away from our scene of operations." Ironic how the American army chased, killed, harassed, and cheated the Indians. If when Custer found that encampment on the Little Bighorn in 1876 would have turned and gone home, there would have been no uprising, and he would have probably kept his hair for a longer time. Instead, thinking the Indians would run again, and they did, this time in his direction, they had had enough. It was his time to run. He just didn't realize it.
Yeah, especially with the black on his fingers.
It's just red I can't get off. Black, not bad.
Buzz.
While in camp at Short Creek, several of the men improvised a band. The first the force could boast. A fife was played by Constable Bill Latimer, and a large tin dish had pegs in the hands of a drummer-trumpeter Constable.
Jerry LePere, I understand this is going to be your last run, you tell us. Okay, Jerry has been on the Saskatchewan Lake of the Boundary Commission wagon train for the longest and the eldest of anybody here in Saskatchewan. He's been a continuous member, and on behalf of the Boundary Commission wagon train, we would like you to select either a neck scarf or a cap out of there, Jerry. It's your choice. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much, Jerry. We greatly appreciate you along the trail. Thank you again. And don't worry, because we presented you this. You're still welcome back, you know. Okay, thanks, Jerry.
So I guess you guys got off lucky. I won't have to interview you.
A little marijuana?
You're not using that saddle much anymore, maybe I should have to.
Wagon, travel!
About 20 kilometers west of Val Marie is a long sloping hill with a TV tower on top of it now. This is where a tribe of Indians and some Métis gathered and joined other tribes in the last buffalo hunt in Canada. This was in the fall of 1883. The white men by then had killed all the buffalo, but in the far reaches there were a few left here and there, and they herded them up and killed them for their winter supply of meat. This story was told to the children of Pat Trotzy, who was the last buffalo hunter in Canada. He was 14 years old and too young to be allowed to carry a gun, but he was on the hide wagons.
My name is Ray Cardoso, and I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, originally born in Mexico. And I did this trip, one, because I want to know this country, two, I appreciate very much the people, and three, I enjoy horses very much.
Braden Anderson and Kelsey Anderson, and I'm Doug Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Having a great time.
Yeah, we got quite a view back there, eh?
Braden, what do you think of the holidays?
Right on. Hey, we'll see you next year.
Yeah, how about you, Kelsey?
I think we're having a great time, and that the people here are really nice.
What's the name of these ponies that you got?
The black one's Dave. This one's Chris, and that one's Big. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Edward Trottier was born in Trois-Rivières, Quebec on April 17, 1869. He died in Val-Marie in 1939. He was the great-grandfather of the famous hockey player Brian Trottier. you're seeing now is a picture of the Enright and Strong Ranch in 1902, later to become East End. Their brand was the Z-Bar X. The house you can see now is still in existence, owned by a wonderful lady named P. Tash, who gave us a little bit of history on the house and the town. Hope you enjoyed the film. We'll see you all again in July.